this new road. No turning back. But we have our ancestors with us. We're going to continue to dance with them. Oh. Dreaming them. Calling them. Seeing them. We are becoming what we were.
It is part of that Mayan prophecies.
7 triangles of light.
Keep walking. You are the spirit of Unapu. Keep walking. We the human, we are doing the spirit of Unapu.
People who say that the gods made them from corn. They planned their lives according to the heavens. Well versed in astronomy, using a sophisticated mathematics, they calculated the movements of the night sky thousands of years into the past and thousands of years into the future. They knew that the universe moved in cycles. Their lives were ruled by the rhythms of the natural world, planting and harvesting, birth and death, just as the great tree of life emerges from the earth.
Always they're connected. Science and religion.
In dreams, we learn from the Maya gods when to plant and when to harvest, when to set a fire, and when to do the corn ceremony.
What we're digging up, what we're coming up with is part of our history. And the men that lived here are some of the greatest men we've ever had. And it's a fact that we're getting to know more and more and more about the life of these people.
They still maintain their customs, they still maintain their ways of organizing their societies. And it's very exciting to see how much of the ancient Maya way of life is still alive and well.
Because American history does not begin in 1492 with Columbus. It begins in 200 BC with the first Maya king who wrote his name on a stone. What is happening now is the people who made these places, people like Yashpak or Bird Jaguar or Fakal, are getting back their voices. They are becoming real to us and speaking to the people of the 20th century about who built this place and why and what they felt and what they thought about the world. These are not anonymous people anymore.
You are the spirit of Unapu. Keep walking. We the human, we are doing the spirit of Unapu.
Man, that was a beautiful intro. Yo.
LA natives.
LA natives.
In La Casa once more.
That was powerful right there. You know what I'm saying? Just listening to the intro was powerful.
Sweet.
So, welcome back, guys. We just had to take an accidental day off, right, Prodak? Like, I guess Hollywood took over our building this weekend.
They came over here and, they took over. They made it theirs, you know what I'm saying? They conquest us, for the weekend, you know what I'm saying?
So, we got Zero of El Vuh.
Yeah.
We got Prodak Pistolas.
What's up, baby? Yes, sir.
Pistolas.
How do you pronounce that?
So, it's a Prodak, you know what I mean? It's like a producto, but it started because my mom would mess up my name. So she couldn't call me like Prodak, a product, or she called me Produce. So it went from, it evolved from Prodak to, and then my mama passed away, so I kind of ran with it. So I'm Prodak Pistolas, you know what I'm saying? That's
Wow, that's beautiful, right, Zero?
Yeah, man.
Pretty dope. Yeah, whenever a family member is involved in a artist's name, or they hold that person very, very dear to their heart. Shout out to all the community out there, everybody that we love, everybody that would like to be here. Shout out Jenny Dula Silva, my partner. Shout out my
Jenny.
children. Yeah, we miss her.
Yes. We actually do.
And the community misses her too, so we just want to make sure that that's clear. You know,
Right.
Sending messages and stuff.
Shout out to Richie Indigenous 1492.
Richie.
Yeah, Hollywood actually bought out all the studios for the weekend and kicked us all out. I guess they were shooting some Spider-Man flick or something.
Again? Another one?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
All right. That's the way it goes. Spider-Man.
Shout out to everyone in the chat.
Shout out to the IG Live. Hey, it's a better show on Twitch, but if you guys want to stay on IG Live, it's all good. Don't trip.
And we are live on YouTube.
Live on YouTube.
Yeah.
Shout out to YouTube.
So this is our Wednesday's discussions, our Warrior Think Tank.
Mondo, can I get a little more on my
a little bit more earphones?
Just a little bit.
Okay, I think what we're gonna
In a
do
second. Thank you though. Appreciate it.
And
I'm glad you're comfortable.
Man, you know? Yeah, man.
It's good to be
Energy,
comfortable. It's
you know
good to
what
be
I'm
home, you know. It's good to there you go.
Is that better?
Just a tad bit down now. And now things could and clear. All right. Now we can communicate. Yeah, we're good.
Oh, man. Beautiful.
All right. I'm comfortable. Everybody's here. Everybody's comfortable. You know, the one thing about this podcast is that we want to make sure that everybody is themselves when they're here. And I know sometimes we don't all agree on certain things, but, you know, sometimes it's that way. And we have to remember one thing. Family may disagree, but they never separate. And at least that's what we're trying to bring back in our culture and this culture of LA natives.
Yes.
And the culture of just being native. Let's respect everybody's views. Let's have a good time. Let's learn from each other. Because sometimes you don't have to have the deepest history of knowledge. You know, sometimes you just have history of life. That's what makes profound artists. You know, people who took a death of a family member and turns it into a positive art. You know, many things exist. But I've actually had the pleasure of recording this gentleman. And it was fun. He's a really talented dude.
Oh wow, you actually recorded Prodak.
I did.
Yeah, man.
At a pre-production studio I set up in Vernon.
Yeah.
It was a pretty big room, and I just set up all my equipment in there, and they bought out some studio time, and I was able to record.
Hell yeah.
Products.
So, Prodak, give us a little bit.
Prodak or products?
So it's spelled Prodak, Prodak.
Okay.
But everybody calls me Product.
What do you prefer?
Go ahead and put the mic a little closer to you, Prodak.
Prodak, you know, it's just how it's spelled. You know, it's
right.
the whole, yeah, you know, the whole, my mama couldn't say it, you know, Mexican immigrant parents, and they're, you know, it's some words he just couldn't get across, and man, I'm glad I'm not produce. You know, I'm glad produce didn't stick.
So, Prodak, give us the background on your experience with Zero.
So, man, check it out. The first time I get to see Zero of El Vuh perform, it was with some of my peoples, you know, some of my older homies that are in the culture. We actually started a rap crew together. And I'm going to get into that a little bit more, but that one moment we went, I think it was in East LA somewhere, in Boyle Heights. It was Aslan Underground. It could have been like some hardcore hip hop, and outside it was just dead, and as soon as you walk in there, the atmosphere is just, these guys are owning the spot, you know, their energy, it's like dragons, you know what I mean? Dragons were in the building.
Whoa.
And that's where I got to, you know, see Zero El Vuh for the first time perform and grab the mic, and man, you know, for sure very influential. We need to see more people like this in our culture, hip hop, you know what I mean? It's like, it's a lost art, you know what I'm saying?
It's interesting because the native brothers from like Canada, they're the opposite of it. They're like, we're like culture hip hop, and they're like hip hop culture. You know what I mean? It's like a little.
The other way around.
It's the other way around.
Yeah.
Like, they embrace the hip hop culture, but yeah. Oh, right. I don't think I hear you.
Sorry about that.
There you go.
You kind of created your own lane. It's like them embracing the culture out here. We have to create our own culture out here.
I mean, it's kind of like the Wu-Tang. Like the Wu-Tang went, I'm going to do hip hop, but I'm going to use these examples to express what I mean when I do this hip hop. And so instead of trying to pick a movie like a Scarface movie or a movie that's like, I don't know, like the Warriors, you know, and then trying to build a rap group off of this fictitious movie, I said, there's other things that are real that can be applied in that same manner. And that's what we did with El Vuh. So we used our own culture. We used our own selves as those comic book characters, as that a kung fu movie, and just used our own spirituality and our road towards it by going to ceremony, by seeing the visions that we needed to see to create the group that we did. And that's what happened.
Yeah, man.
It was dope. It was fun. It was fun. And there was no expectations from it. There was really no expectations from it because during that time I was very well off. So there was no pressure about making money or any of that stuff. So that group was just a gift from the universe. You know, the universe said, hey, here's this group that's going to give you truth and purity. But it's crazy to hear other people's experiences of that group.
Dude, it was crazy. It was like puro greñudo, rocker, and then it was just hip hop, and then we were ready to, like, I don't know, mosh pit in between. Like, it was like for sure the where it started, you know, right there, you know. And
now, Prodak, when do you think was the golden era of that movement when it came to hip hop in Los Angeles? When it came to like the Mexica indigenous hip hop scene? Because I know you're deeply embedded out here in LA.
Man, I got to see a lot of raza coming out, you know, and performing and putting hip hop on the map. You know, you got certain artists like at the time you had Mi Soul Tribe. I'm not sure if people familiar with Mi Soul Tribe, and from there you got Mezcal Miranda, which is east of the river, and all these other guys that are, I mean, they're putting East LA on the map, you know, in hip hop wise, and I'm pretty sure if you ask them that question, they're gonna come back to, you know, to Zero El Vuh and all these other Aztlan Underground, which I keep mentioning because it's like, you know what I mean? It's that hip hop, that del corazón de lo que fue la música hip hop mexica. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, Zero. I've never even heard it like that before.
It's a crazy, you know, East LA is a crazy place. You know, it births a lot of things that people don't know. You know, like a lot of punk bands, like early 70s, like a lot of punk bands came from East LA.
Yeah.
So a lot of famous punk bands that were really influential in music. And so the same thing kind of happened, but through political and social conscious awareness during the times of like 94 to 2012. That was the heart of it. And there were some groups that really, like Aztlan Underground opened up for Rage Against the Machine in Mexico. Yeah. You know,
I didn't know that.
They're like a massive group when it comes to this type of niche, where we're talking about our ancestors through hip hop music or rock music, or, you know, the legendary reggae group Quinto Sol.
Quinto Sol,
you know,
man.
They started in '94 with me. So, I mean, there's a long history to people rapping about culture and using consciousness, you know, trying to give the wisdom back to our community through this conscious art form. But it's been happening for a while, and it won't end. It's going to get better. It's already better.
Man,
so
it's on its way, you know?
And we've had plenty of conversations behind the scenes, right, Prodak, about this podcast, the indigenous hip hop movement scene, or whatever we want to call it, right? But do you feel like that label justifies hip hop? Like sometimes like me and Zero talk, like some cats don't want to be considered indigenous hip hop or native hip hop, right? How do you feel about that keyword, indigenous hip hop? Or
man, it's a subcategory, right? Like they try to box you in. You know, it's always been, they try to put you in a box, you know what I'm saying, and label you something. And even like, for example, with me, they would claim like I had issues with Chicano rap. You get what I'm saying? Like whether, oh yeah, Prodak, you're a Chicano rapper, it's Chicano rap. And what I remember of Chicano rap was these cholos going out there and you know, it was Spanish, Spanglish, English, you know, it was just the whole different, you know what I mean, the way of attacking and if they tell me to this day, hey, Prodak, you're Chicano rap, and I'll be like, man, I don't know, I'm a Chicano rapping, you know? I'm a rapper. I'm a hip hopper.
I like that
don't
answer.
wanna,
I'm a Chicano rappy.
you know, I don't. It's hip hop. I want to be hip hop. You know, I don't want people to like, you know, they don't respect us already. You know what I'm saying? Like they want to keep on putting us in another little box and then smaller box inside of a smaller box. You know what I'm saying? It's just I don't know. It's just
For us, you know, that question is it's a deep question,
Yeah.
Armando, and I'm gonna explain why. Because
And I'm sorry I couldn't make it a little simpler. You know, I had to like roll that one out. You know.
no, I mean that's a great question, but when you ask someone of Mexican, indigenous, or Latino descent, they don't have an answer.
yeah.
They get very insecure with it.
Yeah, I was in the middle.
I'll tell you why, though. I'll tell you why. Because when you're orphaned, you're insecure. You're born insecure. When you're orphaned, right? When you're orphaned, when you have an orphaned kind of lineage to it. So you feel insecure about answering any questions. And I kind of did this contrast with like Aboriginals from Australia. And if you look at movies or look at any kind of things that come out of Australia, how do the original people from Australia, how do they get treated there? They get treated like the lowest of the lowest, the stupidest of the stupidest, and the trash of the trash. So that's who America views us as. So we can't even be hip hop, because if we're hip hop, well then we're black. Right? Okay, well then we're Chicano hip hop. Well then you're gangster. And then out came, well then I'm indigenous. Well then you're a hippie, white, kind of all happy. It's so distorted. It's the perfect system. It's the perfect system to distort lives at birth. And then you struggle your whole life trying to grab hold of some stability. I'm talking about what he's saying. Like, I'm a hip hop artist that happens to be Chicano, that happens to be indigenous. But once you pull out the indigenous card, you're like the lowest of the lowest. Why? Because you got conquered. You got conquered. Everything got taken away from you, so they say.
Not everything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Not everything, because when they try to steal our shit, you know what I mean? Our treasure was in here.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So they
like
got
that.
to steal. They got to steal the material stuff. They got to take our stones, our gold. You know, but they didn't get to take the knowledge. You know, our people. We just gotta tap into that, and it's beautiful because when you start gathering among indigenous people and they have this belief, bro, it's so powerful. They're scared, bro. You know, I've been to powwows where people are dancing, you know, and doing their beautiful dances, and here comes these people to touch them, touch their faces, you know.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, what the hell? And then they're telling me, don't let them touch you. They're witches. You know, they come and take your energy.
Yeah.
They come and take your energy. Everything you've been dancing for and you've been believing, they'll just come and touch you. And dude, it's like that.
It's a complicated road, but that's what makes it fun. I don't want to make people feel like, you know, that whenever I point out injustices, I point them out so you can understand that somehow your grandfather, your grandmother, your uncle, your sister, your brother, somewhere along the path of your life survived these injustices, are still here to voice an opinion against injustices. That's why I point them out.
So, Prodak, we were talking, and you had mentioned before that when you started making hip hop, it was kind of like a Mexica hip hop group, right?
Yeah, man. Shout out to some guys, man. Shout out to Jaguar Payola, Matt Green, Ernesto Hemingway. We came together in the weed lab somewhere. You know what I mean? Getting high and shit. And then there were three brothers that came in there. You know, strong with rich of culture and these brothers with their stretched ears, and I was like, boom. You know, I was hip hop, you know, I was Nas hip hop, I was Mobb Deep hip hop, I was fucking Big Pun hip hop. But when these fools came into, you know, I got to meet them, dude, I became indigenous hip hop. You know what I mean? I became somebody else. And shout out to these fools. We got a group together. We started a group called La Familia Grifa, LFG. And these guys actually throw events. They do the Mexican New Year. So they're the people who they're in charge of the Mexican New Year every year. And you know, shout out, man. Shout out to my peoples, man. It's just I have some lost tracks out there, you know what I mean? LFG shit. And I'm gonna show you guys a little bit more of that stuff.
Wow, that's amazing, Prodak. You know, that's definitely an amazing story. And the reason why we brought you on the show, man, is because, you know, for everyone paying attention, man, he's definitely a rising star out here, out of Los Angeles. You know, he's making music almost all the time, right, Prodak?
Man, every day, bro. I'm working in the studio. I'm getting tracks done. I just finished the track. I just finished the Agenda 32 with Conejo, you know, from the tax collector. That was huge for me, you know.
Nice.
As you know, LA, South Central, you know, Low Bottoms, the area where I come from, which is, you know, right next to the freeway. You know what I'm saying? It's like you cross the freeway, you're in Skid Row. You cross the freeway, you're in South Central. You know, that it's beautiful, you know. I mean, pura raza, cultura, you know. And we do music all the time, bro. I'm making videos. I'm working on a Spanish album, completely Spanish. I'm gonna do like 15 tracks. Oh man, bro, we're gonna do, you know, shout out to my people in Brazil. Shout out to the people in Chile, Paraguay, España, Argentina, you know what I mean? Colombia, you know, man, it's una voz, you know what I'm saying?
Wow, Zero, we always have conversations about Southern America.
Yeah.
Even with you, you know, with your latest video that we pushed on Facebook, we were just getting mad love from Southern America, right?
I think it's another juggernaut, man. Like for some reason, well, I guess maybe just latency wise and distance, those countries get a little behind. Like they're barely hitting boom bap, dope MC lyricism right now, where that came in like, you know, maybe 2 decades ago here.
Like Eptos, he's like smashing out there.
Yeah.
And his sound is like,
it's like boom bap. It's like old school lyricism, right? Like
with a nice cutting edge sound, you know, with these Spanish hip hop artists.
Absolutely.
New programs, new softwares, new machines, new producers, you know what I'm saying?
It's definitely a different world when it comes to making music. It's not the same. I don't know, it just switched when everything went to a phone and to Pro Tools. Everybody has the best equipment if you can afford it in your house. I recorded my first record in like 92. You used to have to search a studio with the reel to reel. That was the only way to record. That was even before ADATs. Then ADATs came and then more studios opened up and now you got Pro Tools, now you got it in your house.
Wow.
So now everyone and their mother's making music and they're good. Some of them are really, really good. Some of them are okay and they're developing. But it's definitely a whole new realm when it comes to. That's why I always suggest to young artists, you have the tools, you have the know-how, but do you have the identity? Do you have the intention? What is it, the outcome of what you're doing? And you ask that to some people and they don't know. And that right there is the what makes the longevity of an artist is when he has all those things. When he has the intention and a clear outcome to his writings, because you're trying to leave writings that never go away, right? You're trying to leave songs that people sing or recite or get wisdom from forever.
Yes.
And there's music that has done that. Look at Mozart. I mean, when were those composed and written? Somehow, if you write good music, it can last forever. As long as somebody's willing to dig it up, put it in its place and expose it. I think that's what you're doing with LA Natives, Armando. I think so, that's what we're doing together.
Well, and we're exposing culture out here. We're exposing true LA natives like Prodak Pistolas right here. One of the hardest working hip hop artists that I know personally. You know, not anyone could just get on a Conejo record.
Yeah, that's kind of hard.
Am I right, Prodak?
Man, there's only like what 9 tracks on that album, bro. I was like, hey, when they were doing the cutting offs, I was like, oh man, am I gonna be on the album? You know what I'm saying? And man, it's just really for real. So hard work pays off, man. I remember reaching out to Conejo years ago and be like, what's up, man? How can we work together? And you know, that's when they start observing. Actually, that's when they start looking at you and see how hard you go from that point on. You know. And man, dude, probably like 200 songs later, bro. You know what I'm saying? I have all my music on Spotify, iTunes, everywhere, YouTube. You know what I'm saying?
So wait a minute.
Shit.
Wait a minute. You said you have 200 songs?
Man, bro, almost close to that. You know what I'm saying?
A lot.
I have at least 60 tracks on YouTube. Just mixed songs that are probably not on other places. You know what I mean? I don't try to duplicate the same song like 3, 4, 5, 6 times. It's just I have music on my SoundCloud from SoundCloud days. I have music from Bandcamp.
When did you start?
Wow. Man, at least for sure I could do a 10-year challenge on my internet. As far as like putting music out.
Published.
Yeah, 10 for
But
sure.
you would
10
consider
years already.
published.
Yeah.
You know?
For
Whenever
10
you
years.
put anything on any sort of a social media, any kind of SoundCloud, Reverb Nation, Facebook, anything that you put onto it is considered a publishing.
Right.
Yeah, so
But you know what's crazy, Zero? Like, you didn't have the luxury of social media, right? Like when you started?
When we started, when it was MySpace. You know what? It's a crazy story. We played at Self-Help Graphics in this is the early days of El Vuh.
Self-help graphics.
Self-Help Graphics,
Shout
but
out
when
to
it was
them.
but when it was in Gage on Gage, it was on Gage in East LA. And so we played this show, and we were all kind of worried about like, oh wow, I wonder if anybody's gonna come. It's on it was something weird about it. I think it was on a weekday, but some good bands were gonna play, like Asa Underground, like the bands that the brothers mentioned, Olmeca, I think play. Oh, it was a weekday, and it was for the 10-year anniversary of the Zapatistas.
That's right.
And so it was a weird day. It was like on a Thursday because it was on the actual day of it. And so we thought, I wonder if anybody's going to come to this. It's like anyways, fuck it. El Vuh goes and does his thing always. It's not going to hold back. But then all of a sudden everybody's there and this and that. It's like, what the fuck? How do we get all these fans to come? It's like, because they were there repping El Vuh shirts, and it was just like really big. And then after the show, one of the fans or one of the people that came to see us, one of the family, they came up to me and was like, yeah, I just found out about it on MySpace. I was all, what's MySpace? And they're like, you don't know about MySpace? And I was all, no, what's MySpace? It's all, oh, wow, everybody could do this and that. And she started explaining, and I was like, huh. And after that, I got on MySpace, and we started that. But recently, before you used to get a record deal, you used to get an A&R to come up to you, give you a lot of money. Now, you just got to write a good song, put it on a good social media network, and if it gets viral, then you have a record deal. Because someone will have faith in you and put enough money to at least do another song, right?
But
what we did back then was develop ourselves, because I can't sway. Like, it's almost like the RZA trying to do trap music. He's not gonna be successful. He's gonna do good doing Wu-Tang music. Like, I'm not gonna do good doing trap music. I can be as creative as I can and as close as I can to it, but I'm not gonna do it because it's not my steez, it's not my road, and I'm okay with that. You know, I'm not trying to be Snoop Dogg, trying to figure out a way to be in with the young 20-year-olds, because my road developed into what you see it today, global pandemic.
Which is going to be premiered at the International Indigenous Hip Hop Awards.
Absolutely.
We're about to edit that showdown.
And shout out to Lemon, because he did a phenomenal job on it. It's a song that sounds like nothing else.
Now, do you plan on shooting an official music video for that song?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I can't wait to do that video because that video says so much. It's called Global Pandemic.
Yeah, I know. I actually, I had the privilege to check it out. It's definitely going to
English
be a
and
hit.
Spanish.
It's going to be a hit. And I know all the LA natives are going to share the crap out of that song.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, whether they do or they don't, that I think when you develop and you mature as an artist, you make a song and you just make a song. And if the community receives it or not, I mean, you have no control over that.
Yeah.
So that's where you humble yourself. And you go, I have no control over that. The community has control.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, one thing I have in common with Prodak here is that when it comes to live performances, how vital that is to a kid's perception of an artist, right? And everyone knows I'm a huge El Vuh fan, a huge Zero fan, and I remember back in the day when I would see you guys rock, man, your guys' performances, especially yours, was just like mind-blowing compared to like what we were conditioned to feel like what was dope, right? Right.
It was a show. It's a show. You know what I mean? You come see El Vuh, man. You had.
I just feel like a lot of artists,
of
a lot of artists lack that sense of urgency on stage. Like whenever you guys rocked, and your chords, like you guys has always had that sense of urgency.
Yeah. Well,
am I right?
That's what I talk about artist development. Maybe this person who has Pro Tools, who has good beats, who has a great ability to write a song, but can never stand in front of 100 people. That's a part of the artist development. It's scary, dude. It's scary to get in front of people. The best experience I can ever explain is going to Mexico City and performing by myself without El Vuh, not having a DJ, in front of 10,000 people. And I still pulled it off. And I got all them to scream like after my verses because my writings are good. It takes a long time. It takes a lot of stress. It takes a lot of,
life.
Yeah. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like it's not just just because you wrote it down on a piece of paper and you recorded it, it's dope. No, it's not. It's like, first of all, you don't decide that. The community does, right? And the community, little by little, is giving you more confidence. That's why when you guys tell me your experience about a show that I did, I didn't know you back then like I know you guys now. So to hear that back is just me knowing, oh, I was at this point in my artistry at that point, right? Not that I'm dope, but I developed myself to a certain point at that point. And really what it was is I wanted to be nothing like what was being put on the radio. Absolutely nothing. And that was the creative challenge that we had as El Vuh. It wasn't going to be like a Kid Frost, this is for La Raza. It was going to be a profound spiritual connection between three individuals who trusted in their ancestry to bring answers in a humble way. That's what it was.
Message.
That's what it was.
That's definitely powerful, Zero. That's definitely powerful.
That's love. I can't look at you guys and look at my people and not feel this incredible, enormous understanding called love. And it doesn't mean that it's like we're getting along, it's utopia. It means I'm disappointed by you guys, but I'm also happy that you guys are my brothers. It's the mixture of everything. Love. It was hard to make those records. It was hard to go, oh, wow, people don't understand what we're saying. But now I have a podcast, I can explain it, and the record still exists.
Thank you for everyone in the chat.
It's powerful.
Zero of El Vuh, Prodak Pistolas,
Prodak,
Artist Spotlight. Very influential artist out of Los Angeles, California. Make sure you guys follow him on social media. Make sure you guys check out his music. Make sure you guys go on YouTube, check out his videos. What do we have cooking for 2021?
Man, more music, Spanish. I'm just gonna hit him with the Spanish. and it's just because la raza, my people, la gente, güey, te apoyan al 100. You know what I mean? They sit there. You see, like when you go watch the Mexico soccer game, they're right there with the flag, and everybody right there. They don't care. They don't care. They're right there with the flag, and that's how they are, bro. Our people, our culture, bro. Stand you, bro. You know what I'm saying? And
If you're good.
Yeah.
If you're not good, they won't.
They'll clown the shit out of you with this show right there.
But that's the bumps and the bruising I'm talking about.
They hate
you
it
got to
so
get back
much.
up.
Yeah, that's another angle as well. You have to be good. You have to make some solid music.
Yeah,
you know, right?
I've never had that I've never been bad. So I've never, you know what I'm saying? Like I've never had that. I've never felt that before. So it's like, it's just keeping it original, keeping it raza, man. We got a story to tell, man.
I remember when we went to Mexico City, we played this underground market that everybody who was famous has to play. Like that's where you prove your bones. They take you to like the people that don't care if you're famous, they don't care if you have a record deal. They just, if your song sucks, they're gonna fucking let you know that your song sucks. So it's kind of a lottery. El Vuh gets there. It's a lottery. We're there at 9 a.m. This lady that puts on the equipment goes, okay, well, it's usually a punk band, a heavy metal band, a death metal band, because it's an underground swap meet. So at that era, they were in that place. So those were the type of bands that were signing up. So my manager goes up to the lady and says, oh, we want to put our name in the lottery. And he's like, okay, cool. He's all, yeah, it's a rap group. And she looked at me hella crazy, like, what the fuck? Like, what?
A rap group.
Rap group. Yeah, they're from Los Angeles. And she looked even crazier. Then she's all, yeah, they only sing in English. And she went, okay. She gave us the ticket.
Wow.
My point is, it was a bunch of punkers. It was a bunch of people that were ready to throw water on you, ready to throw trash on you.
Gosh, baby.
But when your intention is about their lineage, it became a party in this underground swap meet that anybody who's anybody played and had to play and conquer. Not conquer. I don't want to use that word because that's not what we did. We brought tribute to those people. We said, this is who we are and we're from here and this is who we rep. We rep you guys
over there.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And they appreciated that.
Talking about moshing, like it's a certain talent has what it takes to get a crowd to mosh pit. And I've personally seen it at your shows, Zero, right? So like when Necro performs, there's a huge mosh pit,
Yeah.
When Aesop Rock performs or Atmosphere performs, there's no mosh pits. It's not that type of sound.
Right.
Not even like Immortal Technique shows.
Yeah.
I've only seen like big moshes like at the Psycho Rome shows, Necro shows, and then your shows.
Right.
So
yeah, they fuck shit up.
Let me ask you, like, how did you learn that, or did it just come natural to just have some hits in your catalog, and then just had just the people just mosh?
The best way I can explain that situation is that one time we went to Seattle, and we went to play for an organization called Mecha in Seattle. And Seattle's kind of far from Los Angeles, so the Mexican culture over there was more like Mexican home, working class, say really barely nothing. You're happy for whatever little crumbs you get. So you're very tight and you can't really express yourself. You kind of go, yeah, I'm Mexican, but I'm more on this side. And they try to excuse themselves from being who they are.
Yeah.
Hiding themselves. These is 300 kids. So we hit the stage and we do El Vuh, and little by little, the first row stands up. And then the few rows above it saw that they stood up, so they stood up. And then it just is like this weird kind of wave of people just standing up and just going, it's okay to be me. It's okay to be Mexican. It's okay to be native. Yeah, my mom speaks Nahuatl. Yeah, it was like, and then I showed it to my elder and he's like, wow, it's crazy how you could see them be comfortable with being themselves. When you're in that atmosphere, energy starts to flow into the crowd. And it starts to create circles.
Man.
Because the energy is moving through the crowd. So I'm not sure if it's the group that's making that happen, but the energy in the room as we channel
Yeah.
whatever star system that's in the sky that's giving us this communication that's going to beam out of our heart, and it's going to bring this energy in this room, and then it's going to start twisting it. I think that's how it happened.
Wow.
That's the way I feel it.
And that's a good inside look, guys, of like what an artist has to do when it comes to, you know, having so much influence on that fan, right?
They just have to come to the show and be themselves and not be any fucking apologetic. That's why I rock this.
And me being on the other side of the fence, it's like good artists are fully aware, and when fans pay a ticket to go see a artist perform, they're expecting everything.
Yeah.
Am I right, Zero?
Yeah. That's why it's so hard to do. It's so hard to bring it every night like that. I know what it did the last show I played in 2019 with Conejo. I left it all there. And I was on a big system, but I left it all there. And that was just one fucking night. Yeah. I could imagine, oh shit, we got, Cleveland tomorrow, and the next day and the next day and the next day. Then it's going to be pacing. Then it's about diet. It's about working out. It's about breathing. It's about understanding to take care of your voice on
health.
Dude, I've been on tour with big acts that do that, like Rage Against the Machine. I didn't tour with them, but I seen the way they prepared. Calle 13, Maldita Vecindad, all these big bands, they don't go out and it's a facade if you think you're gonna drink all night and smoke all night, and it's not that. It's very hard to go night after night and show your heart to a community day in and day out. It's exhausting, but it's worth it.
And that's the music business right there, right? That's the music business.
That sounds like behind the scenes of a rapper right there, dog. Behind the scenes of a rapper, you try hard as fuck, you do everything you can for a dream, to just expect somebody to, okay, maybe they're gonna like it. Who knows? Maybe they'll like it, maybe they won't. Mm-hmm. But you put all your heart into this stuff for people to just crush you if they wanted to, And
that's usually what happens.
Yeah, you're like, you throw yourself out there. It's like hollering at a girl, you just throw yourself out there.
And they don't like it. Like, oh, yeah, you know what? That was all right. Or, oh, yeah, that was cool. You think it's the best thing you've ever written.
Yeah, for sure.
You think it's the best. Like, I remember one time when I brought the lyrics for Heavy into the studio, I'm like, dude, I'm going to record this, but dude, I really don't like this verse. I think this is the worst verse I've written. It ends up being the biggest song that we have on our catalog. But that's the way I went into it. You know what I mean? Because it's about what he's talking about, the vulnerability of an artist going, I think these words rhyme good enough to be legendary.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
At least
come close. Damn. Like,
yeah.
It's hard. It's hard. As an artist, people just see it, see the one side of it. They don't see the hard side. Everything from making videos, from recording, from everything gets so expensive. And you know what I mean? You got to fund your own, your own dreams sometimes, you know what I mean? And just to be able to see, settle right here. And, it's like, come on, man, it's possible. You know what I mean? It's very possible.
Hard. Any throughout my whole circuit of working in the music industry and putting together the underground groups that I have, the ones that make it to keep doing it, they just keep doing it, and keep doing it. And if you have a certain expectation, a commercial expectation, you got to be clear about what it is. Commercial groups get funded by big record labels, but it's not just like, oh, wow, I like his music, I'm going to record. No, it's like, oh, yeah, we can pimp Nike on that dude. Oh, yeah, who else do we have sponsors? Oh, yeah, that fucking guy doesn't go good with that. Oh, what other skinny jeans? Okay, fuck it.
Shit up,
And then when you sign your five fucking album deal and your $5 million, got most of it from sponsors.
The record you owe that shit back already.
The record label charged you, got sponsorship, got money from a sponsorship, charged you for it, and now you got to pay them. That's why it's profitable.
And this is why it's so vital how we always reiterate to our audience, the hat that you're wearing, Zero, the sweater that you're wearing.
Absolutely.
Look at Prodak sweater. He's wearing his sweater.
Yeah.
Right.
It's all about this new independent movement of supporting what you like to hear, I guess. Isn't that the whole point?
Look, they couldn't stop the prophecy of people becoming tribes. right? That's what's happening right now.
Yeah.
People are starting to become tribes. I only eat plant-based, so I only communicate, and that's what I do.
Yeah.
This is the same thing with LA natives. I have consciousness. I know I'm original from this land. I know how to distinguish someone who is hurting me and discriminating against me, and I know how to defend myself. And I have no fear of it. LA natives, that's what this is. That's what you do. That's the flag here.
Man.
We got it. When you stand up for yourself, not by being rude, not by being judgmental, no, by knowing. Prodak had a good idea, a good point. When the Spaniards came, everybody said, go hide the wisdom. They want the wisdom. Imagine having 1,000 years of wisdom. Star positioning, understanding of water, understanding of resources, understanding of certain elements and minerals. Thousands of years of knowledge of that. So they came and they invaded and they're like, meet the Spaniard, and the Spaniard goes, where's all the gold? And the guy's all, what? I'm kind of playing a very loose and general story of how the encounter with the Spaniard went. He said, where's all the gold? But gold is valuable. Yes, it's valuable. It's rare. It's pretty. But it's not 1,000 years worth of knowledge. It's not 1,000 years of how to control resources in a jungle and keep hundreds of thousands of people alive and trade routes from the tip of Alaska to the tip of Chile alive and breathing.
Mathematics, cultivation. Man.
Wisdom, thousands of years of wisdom does that. So when the Spaniard came, it is like, where's the gold? We were confused as fuck. We went, huh? The stuff on the wall? Yeah, this. Oh, let me tear it down. And this guy's sick. Something's wrong with his head. He doesn't want to know how we understand the alchemy of water. He doesn't want to know how the sunrise, the first few minutes of sunrise, affects your spirit. He doesn't want to know when this star is in this position, how it'll affect the jungle. He doesn't want to know that. This guy's sick. And he smells. I'm not judging. This is the truth.
That was probably an exact conversation they had.
He's all, oh my God. They're going to, look at, they treat me like a god. They're going to go bathe me. No, you were smelly and dirty. They had to go bathe you because you didn't know how to do it. Apparently, you're going to come with speak to officials who are ruling big communities. Filthy? I'm like, not saying this to make them look stupid or judging them. I'm saying this as a factual thing. Reclaim who you are. You're plant-based. You were the cleanest humans on this planet. You were connected to star wisdom. And that still lives inside of you.
Powerful. Don't let them touch your face, man.
Yeah.
Don't let them touch your face. Do not let them touch your face.
That's what I mean, knowledge. It's like, Prodak said it in the beginning of the podcast. So if you listen to the beginning of the podcast and get to this point, that's a reflection of what he just said. You know, we're all just here trying to express ourselves, express our best life, you know. And I'm glad you're still doing music, and I'm glad our paths crossed again, dude, because when you walk through the door, it's like, oh yeah, I do know.
Yeah, man.
I do know Prodak.
You know, and I tell him I know you. I'm like, yeah, dude, Zero of El Vuh. I was at his studio. I did a song right there. I was with shout out Somatli, you know, shout out a couple of guys, you know, and yeah, man, it's a community, you know, and when you work hard, we end up in you know the same path somehow, some way, you know, and we get to meet again, and we'll have another sit down some other time, and you know, it's just we're gonna continue to work hard, you know.
Absolutely, that's the point. The harder we work, I want to make it clear to LA natives, those that want change, those that want to see real change, like real change, like I want to see change. It's going to take hundreds of years. When you take that in, you can breathe easier and just contribute to that 100 years, 200 years, 300 years. The reality will change by then. Because what we do now will affect 7 generations from now. Hashtag 7 generation familia. That's me and my partner's whole organization. The outcome of our community. The healing of a people that already has so much medicine inside them because we've survived so much. Surviving genocide is not easy. Being children of prisoners of war is not easy. But you've done it. We've done it. We're still here and we're still rocking it.
You are chosen, you know? You are chosen.
Yeah. Anyone who picks up, anyone who connects with being an artist, because when you leave a mark on this earth, you know, it's dope. I remember this brother's verse, and it was very clean and smooth, and I remember his voice most of all. So I hope you never give up, bro, and you keep doing what you're doing.
Man, as long as you know.
Man, but if you have 200 songs, man.
Man, I got a whole bunch of music, man. There's a whole bunch of music out there.
That's cool, man.
You know, Prodak Pistolas, you know? Google it. You know, to all the people out there that are not familiar with myself, you know? Google it. I got a lot of dope-ass music. You know, I'm raza, man. Soy nativo, man. Los Ángeles, you know?
Yeah.
Representando aquí una voz, una gente, una cultura, you know?
So is there any type of an official date that you're going to be dropping the Spanish project?
Oh, man, I'm trying to go for like some 420 type of stuff. But I still, you know, there's no date. I have 9 tracks done. You know, I'm gonna leak one. You know, I'm gonna leak a couple to you so you can go ahead and share those. But man, there is no date. I work hard. I work every day. So shit will end up being done in a month. And then I kind of mix down and engineer everything myself. So it's like I try to push it a song. And when I do it, boom, it's done. You know what I mean? I don't go back to it or try like. People tell me I have to, but that's why I have so much music, you know, because I just keep pushing shit out there. Like,
It's cool when you have your own pre-production studios and stuff set up. I know what that's like. I know it's not like to have that because I don't have that right now. But
I don't know how we are on time. Sorry, I don't want to cut you off.
No.
But I like, man, I wanted to like drop some of that stuff. Like I come from like the era of like when you go from it's really hard to make music to like look at the Mac computer. It comes with GarageBand, and it even had the little microphone on the side of the computer. I remember I was right there rapping, you know, on the side of the monitor, just like rapping to the computer, and then just going in there and, you know, using GarageBand. And I'm from that era, dude. That's where I became, and I started doing music. I was like, okay, I can reach somewhere, you know. And it's like
having the tools to do it is the first step.
Yeah.
And then you go, oh wow, I can invest $100 into a microphone, and then another 300 into a interface, and then learn how to engineer and create your own sound. That's the building steps of the artistry of what you're doing, and it's not an easy road.
Yeah.
It's like I'm glad that you brought out the sometimes disheartening part of it. For some. Yeah. That's why I advise any artist, any recording artist, because I'm a vocalist, I'm a recording artist. The more you're on point with your spirituality, your diet, and your outlook, the less you'll struggle. Because that's what it is. People want to mimic healthy spirit, healthy body, healthy outlook and perspective,
mental health.
Yeah. It's all step by step. Whether it's just viewing that starting point to this, like almost like kind of like Tupac, right? You see Tupac's evolution, right? That's what people really admire, his evolution. Oh, Juice, and then he did this, and then he did that, and then he released this album, and then and it's an evolution of what they saw him do, which is what people like. So as you go through this road of creating music and you catalog it, and sometimes you feel like, oh, this one's the one. If you treat every song like this one's the one, you could be spinning your wheels in mud. But if you just go, wow, I just finished another one, that it's a different, it's actually moving the car forward. When you go, oh, I just finished another one, I just finished another one. It doesn't matter how good or bad it is. You'll start to realize as you listen to it. When I write a verse, I write that and I go back and forth from top to bottom at least 500 times. One verse I dedicate at least that much time. 500 times going back and forth. By the time I'm finished writing it, I don't even need the paper anymore. Right? And then so after a while, you don't even need to write it down because you know how to do it. You're going top to bottom, back and forth 500 times.
So how's your writing process, Prodak?
Man, I get to it. I'll get a song done and I'll sit there in the studio and do 6 songs on a session just because I'm sitting there. I mean, it's usually by myself. I'm just, zoning out and just going through beats and I start with writing a verse and then I break down that verse and make it a whole song out of that verse, But I'm fast. I do stuff 40 minutes, 30 minutes, complete a song. And it's all about the vibes, really. That's what he's talking about, how being healthy and mentally health and everything, all the health aspects of being really there, not faking it, really being there. Because if you're not, it's gonna stop you from really chasing or achieving your goals, all this other stuff. So yeah, man, just do music every day. My thing was dying on the song. That's what my thing was for a while. I'm gonna die on every song, fool. I'm gonna leave it there, leave all my whole shit there. I think I would cry sometimes. I'm right there recording and I'm forget all fucking, oh, dog, I get it, dog, And it's yeah, if it really happens, you're leaving your energy, your fucking life, your something there,
That's deep, right, Zero?
Well, I know what he's talking about. And I just discovered this in a documentary that I just briefly seen the trailer for. It's called Oversensitive People. There are people who are oversensitive. They're not weak. They're not pussies. They feel, it's kind of like the hairs on a flower that are super thin that feel the wind, right? How thin the web of a spider web is. And it catches something. It's that sensitive. Imagine a spirit and how enclosed in a body that can feel that. Now, if you take that feeling and instead of it destroying your spirit or making you feel bad, you translate it into poetry.
That was very poetic. I wanted to throw that in there. That was very poetic how you said all that. It is that, and then the energy, imagine being really, really, as soon as somebody enters a room, you're already whoa, you feel that. And that's,
that usually vocalists, people who write poetry or songs or guitarists, lead instruments usually have a sensitivity level that's,
it's the frequencies of music.
No, it's just your spirit. You're just a sensitive spirit. It's not like everybody has, not everybody's a boulder. You know what I mean? And then you chip away and then you have this beautiful statue. Sometimes people are soft things. Doesn't mean you're weak. As a matter of fact, the best hunters and warriors were the most sensitive people.
They sit there still and they know the deer's over there.
They feel it. They feel that guy's anger. They feel his frustration. That's how deep you can get in terms of understand that. But that's spiritual work. That's working on your own tonal, understanding who you are, looking yourself in the mirror. Literally looking yourself in the mirror. Once you do that for 10 seconds, you start to feel uncomfortable. You go 30 seconds,
Reflection, baby.
40 seconds, 50 seconds, a minute. Do an exercise. Stand in front of the mirror and listen to your own thoughts, to your own reflection in that mirror.
Reflection.
Right? Literally, listen to your thoughts that's reflecting off that mirror. If you go, I'm overweight, I'm ugly.
So when you reflect,
the internal talk, right?
You're sitting there and reflecting about things, right? But you
No.
mirror.
No. What I'm saying is, in a mirror, look at your own face and listen to your inner talk about your own face. And if it starts to become negative, then you know that that's a side that was pushed onto you by people in the first attention, in the first life. Maybe bigotry, overweight, or some sort of ideal of pretty or handsome. Like, you'll start to see people's teachings that were embedded in your own mind when you just look in your own mirror and see your own thoughts about your own self. How do you break that spell? The life of the second attention, where you realize that you're an unexplainable being. There is no explanation for your life. You could be as sharp as an arrow, or as dull or as soft as a feather. It will be up to you on what you train your own self to be. That's my opinion. I don't know, did I get on a tangent?
That was dope. Every time, you
Got a
know?
little tangent.
Every time. It's just like, it's in the frequencies, the tones of music, of rhythms and hymns, and it's in religion, it's in every culture, it's in every church, it's, you know, and some people get trained to do certain rhythms, and then other people create those rhythms, you know.
Yeah.
And it's definitely tapping into all that stuff. It's like,
Well, just know that sensitive spirits usually have that. And that's something that you just have to deal with. You know, just use it to your advantage. Like, sensitivity doesn't have to be weak. It could be very alert, be very focused, and it could be very, when you have a sensitive spirit, you look at the outcome very clearly.
Keen, like a keen.
Yeah, a keen sense of things. Intuitive, a lot of your intuition, you'll go intuitive a lot. Intuition is your silent wisdom guiding, right? That's the sensitivity part of things. Not that you're weak. The fact if you break down a lot, or if you're depressed a lot, or you just don't know how to handle the sensitivity.
Eat some mushrooms.
Once you handle the sensitivity, then you can understand how to focus it and direct it.
And this is what's great about the Wednesdays discussions and the Warrior Think Tank and the Artist Spotlight, to bring guys like Prodak Pistolas on.
Hell yeah, man. Appreciate
blessing us to be here, to be a part of this Wednesday show for us. It means a lot. It definitely means a lot, because it's like a hand and glove fit.
Man,
because you're a true artist and you're a true LA native out here.
Appreciate that, man. Thank you. And you know, man, to me it's a bigger deal, fool. Right now I'm right here sitting down chilling, but when I go outside I'm gonna be jumping around, be like, dang, I just did some shit with El Vuh with underground blog. You guys don't understand. Like, it's a big deal. This is huge. And then to be able to be here and you know, and still represent, you know, what I do, where I come from, you know, I believe in my art enough to like be here sitting down talking to you guys about it, you know, and I appreciate the love back for sure, you know, underground blog, hip hop, and you know, you guys here, you know, and you know, the brothers, you know, everybody knows the brothers at UG Blog, baby, you know.
Yeah.
Well, you know, there's a lot of things cooking here with LA natives. This Sunday we got Defy.
Yeah, Defy.
Out of New Mexico. And I believe the week after that we have
Keith IMC.
The week after that we have the Indigenous Designer.
Nice.
And I'm looking forward to that podcast, because I definitely want to cop one of his shoes.
That's dope.
That's hard.
Yeah, I haven't got to his page yet, but I'm sure when we come closer to the show, I want to see what's up. Because, you know, it's all about being original. I remember back in the days when I used to be a kid, I used to search for being original versus being expensive, you know? And sometimes original is expensive.
Yeah, it could be.
But
Shit.
don't let original be something corporate, something you have to stand in line for, like Apple Store, like Nike. You know, you don't have to stand in line for, that's not even original. They're mass producing it. They're showing you that they're mass producing it. We have to break the chains of not being educated enough to know that.
That's the programming, bro. That's that all them years of being like mentally like told and what and how to, you know.
Well, they hook you
function
with
and shit.
emotion, right? I know why I like Nike, or I used to like Nike, or Converse, more Converse, right? Because during the 80s, that's when I was a kid, and that's when the Lakers were winning championships.
Yeah.
And sponsorships of Converse came out, and I was like, oh man, I want to be like my hero. So they hook you in this, you know, Magic Johnson appreciates your purchase of this shoe that your mom could not afford, you know? It's silly, but it's time to break down the constructs of convenience and simplicity. See, they take advantage of you just because they're big, right? A big corporation, transnational company. And they feel like just because I'm this big corporation, that people that work for this humongous corporation are worthless ants or little bugs that bog the system down, right? And when you deconstruct the corporate perspective and start focusing in on originality, talent, and heart, then you run into the designer.
Yes.
You run into Prodak Pistolas.
Yes.
You run into all the great natives that are doing a lot of good things. And it's time to say that we are. It's time to really put a root and take claim of our inherent land.
And that's just, for me, that's just like being an entrepreneur. Am I right? That's the new hustle. You know, just taking your career in your own hands, branding yourself. If you're an artist, be an artist. If you're going to be in the fashion industry, be in the fashion industry.
It's just weird that,
like, next Wednesday, our next guest is going to be the homie from Cultura Clothing. He's going to be promoting his gear. Next Wednesday. So that's another artist there. He's in the fashion industry. You know, like Richie, he's in the fashion industry.
Yeah.
You know, the blog, we are entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
We do our best to promote good hip hop all day, every day, right? Here at LA Natives, we try to promote the best indigenous hip hop possible. You know, all of our guests have one thing in common, that they all have their own stories, and they just have amazing stories to tell.
And I like the way we're building the community, because it's like Chicano rap, but nothing like Chicano rap.
Right.
Because Chicano rap, unfortunately, got hooked onto a sound and a uniform. And even a venue. Like, it doesn't go outside these venues. Maybe once a year they'll do this really big venue that's kind of like the same venue that they usually book, which is a car show. Doesn't mean that car shows don't get filled up and don't have a large audience.
Yeah, they have their people.
But it's you're stuck in this uniform and sound. What we're doing with LA Natives and indigenous hip hop movement is what each one of these native artists has their own sound. Like, Prodak doesn't sound like Artson. And, you know, so-and-so doesn't, like, Chutesca doesn't sound like Taboo. There's just a variety of artists that are original and deserve a spotlight, and that's what LA Natives does. And we do it under the precipice of an ancient culture, an ancient understanding, a place of wisdom that was not taken away from us. It was not taken away from us. They did not destroy us. It was our time. And we look in the face of death and we accept it. Once you accept death, then you can live again. You'll appreciate the next life. But when you don't accept death, European culture, I'm gonna live forever. Let me do whatever I can to live forever. Let me be a vampire and live forever.
Oh, no, don't say
It all
that.
comes from over there.
Don't
So
say that.
they just don't want to let go of this one
so
life,
real.
right?
It's so real, bro. That adrenochrome stuff is so real. That shit is happening. They really are.
It's
Like
just a
real
culture. It's a
vampires out
cult. It's a cult. It's a cult. It's a cult. Right? It's just like the Louis Vuitton cult, the Prada cult, the Gucci cult.
The Yeezy cult.
Yeah,
That
whatever.
made
cult.
Kanye West really, really rich.
Yeah, just I mean, whatever it is, it's that. And so, our ancestors understood death, welcomed death.
Every day was today is a beautiful day to die.
Right. That's what the Lakota say. They say.
Today.
Yeah. Today is a beautiful day to die. That was a saying from the Lakota. So it's not obsession of no longer living, but actually expressing each moment of life, holding it there, being grateful. And that's why I said how it's important to connect to sunrise, sunset, those last minutes of sunrise, those first minutes of sunrise, the last minutes of sunset. Those are important times that no man, no book, no theology can strip you from. The only way they could do this is put you in a building in a dark room. But then you can use your mind, and then you can use your heart, and then you can be true to your story. That's land back. That's Cuauhtemoc's vision. Teaching your children how to do that. 500 years from now will be a very different situation.
Right on.
On point.
Yo, so I want to thank everyone for tuning in. Visit our website if you guys could do us a huge favor and subscribe. Give us your emails. There's a lot of promotion we're going to be doing for the podcast. We're going to start running a few ads, trying to get our engagement up. Big news, we hit 1,000 followers on Instagram. Right, Zero?
That was quick. How long did it take us?
Like what, 3 months?
That's not bad.
3.5 months?
That's not bad.
All organic.
Organic. Right? We didn't put any ads.
And I appreciate all the listeners giving us their feedback. It just means so much. Like, just in the past week, we just been having some great feedback from fans.
That's cool. Just shout out to the chat, man. It's always that.
And we're still waiting for a message on our Spotify or on our Apple Podcasts. Keep in mind, guys, on any episode that we launch, you can leave us a message, and we would love your feedback. For reals.
Now, Armando, you know what we could do for the community? I think they just don't know how to do it. I'm sure there's 4 or 5 people willing to do it.
Yeah.
Maybe what I'll do is you can film me do it.
Yes.
Hi, this is Zero, and I'm showing you how to leave a message on our Spotify.
Yes.
If you guys could leave us a message, it's not for us to be famous and popular and rich. It's for us to gather our community.
Yes.
And if you like the content that's being shared on LA Natives, if you like the artists that are being focused on LA Natives, then we need the community to be very vocal about your show. This is your show. Do you see me going against anything the community is saying?
No, of course not.
And if that ever happens, then I'll step away from the show. I have that much courage. I understand that everything ends. Just like we did 500 years ago.
Yep.
We understood that it was going to end. What, that we're going to have unlimited knowledge forever and we design a perfect society where no one ever dies is unrealistic. Adversity and challenge is what we built our No. No, not our empires. We built a strong community on a lake. On a lake. That blows my mind. If they live inside me, then that's what I'm gonna do virtually.
Yeah, that's who you are. Every LA native out there, that's who you are.
Yeah.
So, Prodak, thank you for dedicating some time to us. It's been an honor.
Were we gonna share one of his songs? Does he have a song? Does he want to do a freestyle?
You want to do a little freestyle? Do you want to drop some first?
Yeah, I'll drop some. I got some Spanish bars that I've been.
Let's do it. LA natives. Prodak Pistolas.
Some like gotas de miel lloro por mis penas. Lágrimas negras, tantas leyendas comienzan en la selva. La hierba que hierba se quema, cosecha se echa en un cigarrillo. Se prende derechito a las estrellas, la luna es un vicio. Hasta el ciego ha visto, el mudo dijo, pasen el globito, un poquito de nitrógeno pa' los olvidos, pa' los dolidos, un copa, un trago, esta costa es nuestra, una familia, una voz. Yeah. You know, something real fast, you know what I mean? I get into it.
That was nice. That was nice. And this is the essence that we want to bring to our audience, man. Every artist that comes in here, they bring their A game at all times, right, Zero?
Absolutely. That was fire.
The chat is fire right now. The chat is blowing up.
I'm channeling you guys. Come on now.
Dude, that was so smooth. I like his voice. Don't you agree? Like, his voice is smooth as fuck.
He is super original.
Yeah.
Your style is very, very unique.
Man,
yeah, Prodak.
You know, I think that's the reason why I've gotten to where I've gotten to, because of my voice, you know, and you know, sometimes I don't gotta say much and shit, and people like it, you know. I don't think I'm saying too much sometimes.
Yeah. But, fire ass verse, man, and in Spanish. That's a cool thing. I think that will be the next movida is being dual like that. You know, being English and Spanish, and you know.
Hell yeah, that was dope. Some lo-fi, you know what I'm saying? Some dope ass music, man. Let's do some dope ass music, man. If you could, and I want to challenge every other artist out there that's listening, and you can spit bars in Spanish. Come on, man.
And this is what our Wednesday segments are all about. If there's an artist out there that's tuning in and you want to showcase your art, email us, DM us on Instagram, and we'll put you on. Just as long you know, fit, and you bring your A game, we'll put you on. That's not an issue.
Yeah. It's so hard to get exposed out there, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you have to really believe in yourself. Like, when we played with the RZA and all, it took a lot of effort because we had to sell tickets, and it was kind of a play to pay thing, but we felt we were good enough, and there was no record label that was going to support us. So, you know, we did it, you know, and that, you know, when you break even, you go, oh, we broke even, we didn't make money. No, that was a successful night. You didn't pay one dime to play with legendary artists because your community came out and supported you and believed in you. And man, you just got a little exclusive on an individual who's dedicating himself to making himself a great artist and going through the bumps and bruises. That's what it is. And that's what Wednesdays are about. We're going to try to help along anyone we can who we believe in, who feels that community is important, who feels that that understanding a community perspective will heal our loved ones.
Yes. We have a lot of fans asking us that they couldn't find the option to be a little bit more clear on how to leave the messages. So here we go. Just simply go on Spotify, right? Go to any of our episodes and hit the see more option. And way in the bottom, there's a voice message link via Anchor. And if there's anyone out there that wants to leave a message, feel free to do so. We will definitely appreciate the support. Shout out to everyone in the chat. The chat's pretty lit today, Zero.
Dope. Thank you so much, man.
Next week we have Defy.
When I see the chat go do the thing that it's doing, you know, people putting fires and, you know, putting nice messages and nice words, it just shows that maybe our message is very clear, you know, and I like it. You know what I like about when I go back and I review some of the messages or because I don't get to see them while I'm live, but
Yeah.
I go back and I read almost every single one of them. And I like when they talk to each other. So-and-so, you know, they leave a message, so-and-so, and I'm answering your question. It's like its own community in the chat.
Yes.
You know, so
yeah, the
shout
Wednesdays,
out.
the Wednesday shows, it's a full blown open forum, artist spotlight. We got Prodak Pistolas in the building. Thank you again. We're about to tune out. We got Defy coming up this Sunday. It's definitely going to be a dope interview. Appreciate everyone tuning in.
Read that last one, Armando. What is it saying?
Boxer for life. The community really needs to be supporting this man more. Zero should be followed by everybody in the community. I agree. I just don't understand, but that happens to me sometimes too.
Yeah.
Love you all.
In time, there's nothing they can do to stop our community. Just like we couldn't stop our death, they can't stop our rebirth. They can't stop our innate connection with the ceremonies that were put down a long time ago. They can't stop that we understand the mathematical equations and what frequency the sun is giving us right now. They can't stop that. They're trying to stop it by putting a cell phone in your hand, by distracting you, by scaring you. But they cannot control the universe. They cannot control the trees. They cannot control the wind. As much as they try to make it seem like they can, they're human just like us. They're little ants. They try to be big ants. But we're all ants. And if we have an ant mentality and work together as a community, then we can build extraordinary structures, extraordinary lives, extraordinary communities, all through our expression, through our center, through our heart. We'll see you next Sunday. Tlasokamatni o meteo tonan sin tonatu.